So, Idea Factory.
This looks familiar.
It does, right?
This looks exactly like something we've seen before.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
100%. This is exactly what we've seen before.
It's almost like we've played this game or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting it to change. That's different.
Oh, there's another one.
There was a pink doggo on top
two.
of the blue doggo.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to this.
I'm pretty sure those are red doggo, by the way.
Whatever they call
said
it.
They call them red, but they're literally just pink doggo. I don't know.
So we were informed that this is 100% different. It looks pretty similar.
Well, we weren't told that it was 100% different. We were told that the storyline is different. And that this is actually...
A different continuity?
No. I had to look this up because people were giving me really conflicting things about it. And as far as I can understand, the first game in the original Neptune series and the first game in the Rebirth series are both considered non-canon games. People were saying, no, that's wrong, that they belong to a different universe. But as far as I can tell, when I looked into it, most of the fandom believes that they're just straight up non-canon. And that this is the actual proper first game in the series, but that occasionally this makes references to the original game.
A lot of it just looks like what we've already seen in Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1.
Yeah.
But I am starting to see characters that I did not see before.
Well, I've got a lot of confusion about some of this.
I knew who she was.
Basically, just this is the most confusing thing we've ever tried to be a part of. I don't know.
That's probably not true.
Look, the actual timeline for this game is unbelievably confusing, at least for me.
Welcome to Waifu Month 2.
No, because Waifu Month is in February. Yeah, this is Waifu Month in
Christmas in July.
October. Yeah. August.
Ogtober.
All right. So let's start new game.
Ooh, we
the
got
DLC, Histy's Rehabilitation Package, has been activated.
They gave us a bunch of starter items.
Yeah, I guess Histy needs rehabilitation.
She's rehabilitating us.
Oh. Yeah, you know what?
Healing grass.
For the last game, we kind of got one of these at the start too, where it's literally just, here's a bunch of heal items. I can't remember if you have to pay for these or not. I made a joke about this in one of the streams we did for Monster Hunter, where I jokingly said that you could buy DLC that's like $1 for 100 potions or something like that. I legitimately am terrified of the concept of games doing things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but there is literally a game on Steam that does that. It's like an RPG Maker game with like 4 rooms
it's not quite
in
the
it,
same.
And then everything is just DLC.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah, it's an amazing scam. I don't think anyone's ever fallen for it.
The joke is, like, the actual joke I was making was that in 4U, there was actual DLC that you got at the very beginning of the game, but they gave it to you. And it was because they felt that it would be scummy to charge for it, and it was literally like 100 potions.
Why would that even be DLC?
I don't know. The following items have been added. Change Dungeon, Rebeat Resort, Plan V Crystal Ring, just a bunch of plans, some key fragments. My understanding is that this game plays very similarly, by the way.
Yeah.
Coliseum, DLC packs, Histy's Rescue Plans, Nepkir's Beam, Zapper Zero. I don't know why the hell there's so much stuff here.
We just went through and got all the DLC because there was a sale and whatever. It was like $1.
Like that. Okay. We're finally getting into the game now.
Prelude to the End.
Okay.
That's kind of going on strong.
Well, I mean, isn't that just every storyline is the prelude to the end of the story?
Yeah.
In anything? I don't know.
But what is this?
Not sure. Somebody fighting the
CPU?
goddesses.
Damn you.
Is that an evil CPU the way that R4 was being an evil CPU? Is it like an actual one?
Do you think it's actual R4?
Did she get a huge redesign?
I don't know.
Is it supposed to be this blurry?
Take this.
I think it is, yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know if the recording's gonna pick up how blurry it is, but yeah, it looks like they turned up all of the light effects or something. I don't know why.
So, you're not okay, I mean, you are supposed to know who these characters are, but you're kind of not if this is the start of a new continuity?
Yeah, I mean, so, like, it's the start of a new continuity, which means that we aren't gonna know... Well, our knowing these characters will not impact our opinions of them, but we have played the game, so it's like, I don't know. We know who they are. Oh yeah, that's Nepgear also, isn't it?
Yeah, so she already exists.
Yeah.
So that implies that the whole thing where they sort of are materialized out of people's beliefs, and near the end of the first game might not matter. They might have
I
been
think that
done
has
earlier.
been retconned. I think they just exist now in the same way that the goddesses exist.
Yeah. Like, that's less confusing, actually.
Oh, fun.
Oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Our leaders are overworked and starving, and death looms over all game industry men.
Is that what you call
The
people?
CPUs
Industry
to
men?
let this
I
be
guess.
game over for their world. Game industry had severed its ties to the chaotic.
Okay, if
lawless
we're
realm
literally
long
showing
ago.
consoles, what
Ever
is
since
the...
advent of ASIC,
What
the
is...
R4 syndicate of
R4 is
international crime
involved?
R4 is the head of a syndicate of international crime, I
As much as
guess.
80% of all
Students.
students are rumored
So
Why does
worship
that
a being
matter?
known as
as
R4.
R4.
Huh.
Parents,
Huh.
despite knowing it to be a poor
what?
deity to worship,
This is just bringing up further questions.
governing bodies of the world have turned a blind eye.
They haven't explained
rather than
any
crush the
of
crisis in its
the
infancy.
way the...
Well, basically,
I mean,
game
we're
industry
still just
was
assuming that the
stealing
lands are the same.
Thus, did game industry fall?
Yeah,
into
so
complete and utter
I don't know. I guess there was a
tire of living in
problem
this corrupt
in game
world,
industry
or
where they
simply
all just
wander
decided
a
to
game
worship
industry
R4 instead.
graveyard,
Okay.
kind of like what IF and Compa are experiencing right now.
Are...
Welcome to
What?
the game
I
industry.
don't know, we're in a graveyard now. It's where consoles go to die.
How is this supposed to make any sense if you didn't play the first game? It's relying on you playing a non-canon game. It's relying on you having read the rough draft.
Finally,
A little bit.
all the way to the game industry graveyard.
No text, no subtitles.
So it
Doesn't seem like it thus
I don't get why
far.
you're so scared.
I like that it's at least an actual cutscene.
Yeah, we should probably not
The
talk
weird
over it if there's no
stuff all over the
subtitles.
place.
I mean, like, we could talk in the spaces, but we should probably be careful if there's no... Because this one, obviously, we could talk over this, but, like...
Is she already out of the book? Is she just around?
I don't know. It looks like she's inside of a game screen.
Everyone is.
No, I mean, like, right there, she's got, like, the
I know,
lines and everything
but
on her.
like that doesn't mean much.
I don't know.
All things you see were once inhabitants of game industry proper.
Huh.
So people
these
got
are
turned
people, or are
into
they
a bunch of D-pads
other
and screens.
Really?
I don't know. This is so confusing.
You know, this is why I said it'd be okay if
Did
you
we even
stayed
say what the
behind.
name of this game was when we started it?
It's Rebirth 2.
Okay.
No way! I'd never agree to that.
It was all over the screen. I
wanna
mean,
help Nep Nep and Gigi and
well,
the others
welcome,
Gigi?
welcome back to Nap soon.
And so do I.
It's a little
Hard to believe
late
they've
in the
been
game,
missing
though, I
for
guess.
3 whole years now.
Okay.
It's so
How is this
stupid of them
not
to
just a
make me worry.
sequel? How is this
I
not
don't
connected to the
know.
first?
I have no fucking clue.
All will be made right soon.
Like,
Because it feels like it's picking up.
if yeah, it
I mean,
feels
there's
like
a
at
big
least
question.
certain aspects of this, right?
There's a
Totally
big
feel like they're
question
picking
mark
up off of it.
where what just happened in that cutscene, but like the where the character stands seems to be where they ended.
Parasite.
Yeah.
Crystallized power of the
Huh?
people's faith.
Okay.
If that's true,
Oh.
then you're right. Okay, let's hurry up and
Do you
find
think
our
it's
layers,
just
Pampa.
literally
We'll carry
the
them all
writers
home if we
just
have
had a
to.
better idea after having finished the first game?
Maybe. Like, okay, the thing that's bothering me is that if the first game isn't canon, like we keep being told straight up the first game's not canon,
Jeez,
it
this search is
that means that there's
taking
a game that takes place before this that was never made, because clearly they already know everybody.
Yeah. What?
It's extra confusing.
everyone could be.
Yeah, because if there's like a different backstory and they just hang out with the goddesses, it's like it's still probably important for us to know why, because they're just supposed to be regular people.
I mean, at least to some extent.
Yeah. Like, why would Neptune have been hanging out with Compa and if she wasn't like given amnesia and hurled from the sky? She would just be up there in the sky. She wouldn't have ever met them, right?
Yeah. I mean, at least you'd think so. Anyway.
So there's a story there.
There should be.
This place looks like a weird Disgaea background.
A little bit.
Kind of cool.
Well, I could point out that NIS did a lot of the localization on the first game, I think, but not this one.
Okay, not that would have mattered for their background art.
Although I think NIS America supposedly did some of the localization, but then I think it turned out that it was some other group or some I don't understand.
Well, that
NIS
shot isn't
one of the other ones.
Oh, that's so badly done.
Yeah, that's pretty confusing.
Those boobs look so weird. That animation was just bizarre.
I should also point out that the translation on this game was, it was supposedly so bad compared to the original version that there is actively a patch out there to patch the entirety of the script of the game to be closer to the original version of this game.
Oh, wow.
We are not running it. We are running the normal, like, English version that you could just buy off of Steam, but apparently that is a thing. People were so unhappy with the translation of this game that they actively went out and found the original Japanese script and translated it more directly.
Huh. Do you think
Why is everybody tied up?
Do you think that the more accurate translation like leaves in a bunch of weird boob jokes?
I have no idea.
Snap out of it, would ya?
I don't know what the actual differences would be even.
So are they conscious while tied up like that?
No,
their
unconscious.
eyes were open for some of them.
I don't know.
Do not attempt to force them free by hand. Compa.
They're in a weird stasis in there.
Right.
Seems like it.
Somewhere here in my handy-dandy nurse's pouch.
I won't allow it.
Oh.
No. Somebody's really mad about it.
Is that a dude's voice?
It said CFW judge, so maybe.
Who are you? You better not get in our
Alright,
way.
we're getting non-waifu characters. I mean, it's a robot.
It's just a giant robot.
That's still fine.
Inconceivable. 3 long years. I've remained idle.
Think there's a person in there?
I don't know. I think maybe he is a person. He's a robot, but I think maybe he's an intelligent robot.
Yeah, that could be. Could also be a remote-controlled robot and
I mean,
someone
that's
speaking out.
yeah, that's potentially.
I
true
mean,
as
we
well.
don't know.
Please wake up.
Do we have to fight him?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea what's about to happen here.
I know you don't.
It's just like I don't know. I'm just saying.
Gigi, are you back with us?
That's a weird way to
I don't like
abbreviate.
calling Nepgear Gigi. That's kind of weird.
I mean, you can't call her Nep,
I guess, but
it's still a little awkward sounding.
yeah. You'd think she'd just call her like Gear or something
Well,
like
it's
that.
short
but it's
for
like,
gear.
because I guess they call Neptune Nep, so if her name's Nepgear, it's got to be something involving the gear, because you can't call her Nep, so I don't know, it feels dumb, though. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. Gigi just is a weird way to do it, though, because that's not the way you. It's not that kind of G.
Yeah,
And you can't call her Gege. It sounds weird.
So maybe in Japanese it would make more sense, because I can't think of how you would actually say Nepgear, or like, I guess it would be Game Gear in Japan. Would it be Gire or Giru?
I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
If it's Giru, which would be gear, like that's typically the romanization for gear, then it makes more sense for it to be Gigi, because it would be Giru, and then you just take the ruse out.
Yeah, that could be it.
Hi, F.
Alright, she's up.
If is getting punched, I guess.
She doesn't have any gears in her design, by the way.
No.
I know it's like gear
Yeah.
like equipment, not gear like an actual rotating
No, I
wheel
know what
thingy.
you mean, yeah.
But like, you think.
You'd think that they pushed a little bit harder with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'll fight too.
Although the steampunk country is not.
No, that's
not-
like PlayStation, yeah. The EXE drive is used to unleash a character's special move. A
Thankfully,
character's
we
special
know this.
moves are known as EXE drives. These moves are far stronger than the SP skills and will use up EXE drive gauge bars. They are most effective when battling bosses. Well, at least now they're outright telling us, hey, use this on a boss.
Yeah.
EXE drive gauge bars can be gained via story progression or by leveling up characters. When the EXE drive gauge has at least one full bar, open the menu using the X, and then select the EXE drive that you wish to use. I'm gonna guess that, well, no, it's actually got the right controller set up. I was gonna say that the X is probably gonna wind up being A, but I'm looking at it on the left-hand side, and it's like, no, this is not a baked-in thing, so thank God.
Yeah.
When using these special attacks, the EXE drive gauge will be depleted. When the EXE drive gauge has at least one bar filled, access the... Oh, God. Yeah, we know how to do this. You may not know many EXE drive skills at first, but in the near future, you'll be able to learn many fascinating moves.
Are they going to start us with one so we aren't confused
I have no
for a
idea.
while?
Did you hear the battle intro sound, though?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's got a gear. It's in his butt.
I have... Oh, God, it's inverted camera. Gross.
You want to take
Hold
a
on.
second? And...
I could just do it from here. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like, fuck, don't do this. It inverts both of them by standard.
Who inverts left and right?
I don't know.
And why would your options be standard and something that isn't standard, but you don't default to standard?
I don't know. It's so confusing, though. Why would you want that? Okay. You know what? Let me invert left and right and see if that feels better to me, just real quick. Sorry, I know this is a stupid thing to do, but it's like, no, that feels terrible.
I'll bet it does.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. I wanted to see if it was okay or whatever, because sometimes people will stand by choices like that, and it's like, no, that just feels terrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
Celestial Severance.
I'll use all my
So I don't
0
quite-
damage.
Yeah, I don't quite remember what her EXE looked like in the
Not
last
like this.
game,
This
but
is-
yeah, this looks slightly
This is
different.
a little different, yeah. I think her costume might be really different too.
I can't tell. I'd have to look it up and do a comparison. Maybe. I've never drawn her in her CPU form, so I've never had to like look at the details.
Man, this guy's really mad. He's
Well,
got
yeah.
them big old PlayStation controllers for his shoulders too.
Yeah, he's got bumpers up there.
You know, I say those are PlayStation, but actually those might not be.
They're generic. They can't actually use a copyrighted.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent
him
anyway.
at all.
It has buttons that look like they came off of the PSP or the Vita.
Yeah. They could be anything though.
I don't think they
Because if he was like PSP, he'd be Uni, who
Perhaps the
presumably is in the
is
game
not
on our
pure enough
side.
to awaken the CPU's proper.
Yeah, I guess, maybe.
You serious? There's nothing else we can do here.
So are we just gonna have to go find more
Again.
crystals and
Going to lose again.
see if we can wake them up?
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to go get more Shericite and then come back. Like,
Poor Nepgear came out of a coma after a traumatic battle and immediately has to fight again.
Wait,
yeah.
the Shericite's power. Please be enough.
Do you have to eat it?
Shericite's an equip item in the first game, so I'm gonna guess that it's just like a crystal that you can touch and use the power of or something.
Yeah. That could be.
What? No, the light! My eyes! My eyes! My eyes!
So whatever's in there, it's sensitive to an excess of light. Cameras do function poorly.
Well,
in
I don't
modern
think it really has anything to do with like, oh, I'm sensitive to light. I think it's literally just it's glowing.
Is it? I'm just wondering if there's biological eyes in there.
I
or
don't
if he's
think
just straight
there
up a
are, but I
robot.
don't think it needs them to be.
Yeah, no,
sensitive to
that was my question.
Yeah,
This
it's
is no
magic.
time to pass
All
out
right
again.
then.
What? What happened? Did she seriously lose consciousness now of all times?
It didn't really
Unforgivable.
do
You'll never escape.
anything.
Once my
No.
retinal systems come back online.
I use a
Oh,
robot.
there we go. Robot.
Time has come to withdraw. Nothing more can be done now.
You heard her, Compa. Let's
We're-
hurry up and get geared
Okay, so it was the four goddesses and Nepgear fighting against whoever that was.
Yeah.
Did everyone else just stay home?
Well, maybe there just wasn't anybody else who could go there.
You
I mean,
mean
you've got
not
the other
Uni or
sisters,
Ronran?
or maybe the other sisters don't exist yet, or something like that. And If and Compa never take place in anything like this, so...
Oh yeah, no, I mean, we don't leave them in our party when we fight things
No,
like
no,
that.
no. I mean, like, straight up in the storyline, they never go to the stuff to fight things there or anything, except at the very end of the first game. But everybody went at that time.
Well, yeah, no, well, in the first game, they were always available to be in our party, though.
No, that's not what I mean, though. I'm not talking about literally.
No, I mean, like, when you see anything happening anywhere, they're there because they never
Well,
leave
yeah,
that.
but even in the storyline, they follow us into Celestia. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna guess that typically they're not supposed to be in Celestia doing whatever the goddesses
Well,
are
yeah,
doing.
they're just regular humans, but you
Yeah.
phrased it really weird.
Okay, well, whatever.
And it shattered when Gigi had to unleash that light.
So it literally was just a flash bomb.
Yeah,
I
a
thought she
little
was
bit.
trying to fire a laser at it or
No,
something.
no, no. I think it was a flash bomb, but it did do damage to him. Like, I think it was like, oh, the light of purity or whatever is burning my dark form.
There's no reason
Eh,
to
fair
hide
enough.
themselves.
Well, no,
That's
it's just his
typically how
retinal
anime
system.
works. No, but that's typically how the anime-related stuff works. I'm just
Yes.
saying, like, maybe it was just a flash bomb. I don't know, but it makes more sense in my mind for it to be like, no, it was because the power itself was doing whatever. Because it's Sharasite. It's the power of shares.
Well, maybe she was trying to get it to do some holy
Besides,
burning, but
I
it
must
just
learn what
blinded him.
transpired 3 years ago.
Or it totally did burn him, and the more important thing was that he just couldn't see.
So they just don't know what caused this.
Yeah, well, everybody's been gone for 3 years, so nobody knows
Yeah,
what
it did-
caused anything.
Well, I mean, we sure as hell don't, so they gotta explain it to us.
Also, I couldn't read the actual font in that. It was divine, and then it looked like...
Oratorio.
Was it oratorio? Because I couldn't tell if
Yeah.
it was oratorio or datatorio or something.
It was
like the O's and the D's look the
It's
same.
one of those fonts.
You're finally awake.
What have you leave?
Okay, so
We were asleep for
there's
so long that we were all getting
no
really
question about them being like the Neptunes are the Neptunes. Like
Nope.
there's no, oh well, our goddess is somewhere else. You don't look like her thing that kind of happened.
Nope, because they were
Yeah.
all sitting there in the graveyard. They know exactly where they are. I guess they just had to leave them and come back.
Yeah, no, I mean like the Basilicom guys.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that they know.
Okay.
It was my command that sent you 5 to that battlefield.
Oh.
Five.
No,
No, that's correct.
Yeah,
I don't know why
that's
I was
correct.
thinking it was. I guess I just decided Neptune and Nepgear were the same person
No,
in my head for a second.
no, there's 5 of them.
To account
Oh, hey,
There's-
Histar's wings look different.
at the game industry
Little bit.
graveyard.
A lot bit.
Yeah.
I've had to draw her.
Okay.
The rest of her looks fairly the same, but they simplified her wing design.
A single opponent.
Yeah.
That's so hard to believe. How could the CPUs lose?
They got beaten up.
Can I ask a question now? What
That's how
happened
they
to
lost.
Game Industry after we lost that battle?
Oh, I noticed something. It looks like there's 2 thrones back there. If those are where the goddess and the baby goddess sit, it's like they're on equal standing. They're just there together instead of
I thought that was
Neptune's
a
being higher.
door. I didn't think that was a chair.
They look like chairs
I'm
to
not
me.
really interpreting that as a chair. It could be, but I don't know.
You
Eh,
said it's
they look
been
like
3
chairs to me.
years.
Fair enough.
The situation is bleak, I am afraid. ASIC.
Histar's sleeves are a little different, but not a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Disc burning, disc copying, even.
Oh, they're just being really upfront with it this time.
Put their faith
Yeah. Yeah, so they're just, burning games and copying them, and kids are like, no, piracy's fine.
In other words,
This is something that I always was against, even as a kid. If nothing else, because as an artist, I don't like people stealing from me.
just that
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, don't steal.
took us nearly
People
all
create
3
things and they have to eat.
well.
So it took them 3 years to make the Sharasite because people just don't care about the goddesses anymore.
Okay.
They just think that it's easier to go with piracy and that ultimately it's probably a better option. And
Piracy of
everything
what
else.
if the goddesses are gone, though?
Well, they're still making games, I guess.
Who, though?
Goddesses don't make games.
Yeah, well, I mean,
companies make games.
The metaphors here are very, very confusing. But like, if it's like a weird post-apocalypse graveyard shit going on. Like what is there to steal?
At the radar world
I don't know.
They may achieve that goal.
Especially if we assume that the consoles
Isn't there anything
goddesses
we can do to stop
also
them?
represent the companies that make them. So it's like, oh, if Blanc is tied up in the demon cyberpunk
I don't know.
hell.
It's important to remember that with the exception of Nintendo, most companies have third-party games, not first-party games. PlayStation does make games, but they make very few games. They typically rely on studios outside of the company.
Yeah, but like in theory, I was using Nintendo as an
I know, I'm just
example.
saying.
Can I finish
Yeah,
it?
Fine.
Like, if she's tied up, are there still things coming out like whatever the hell their equivalent of a Mario game would be?
Maybe. I don't even know how this really works, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, it's an incredibly confusing metaphor.
Okay.
If Noir is gone, then is anyone making things that would work for the PlayStation?
Yeah.
Or whatever that would mean.
Yeah. So they're gonna rely on Netgear and the other ones.
Oh, so everyone's just stealing PSP games and stuff.
I guess.
Correct. As you
Wait,
know,
CPU candidate.
only the CPUs
Yep.
themselves and the
They have
CPU
CPU forms though, or is that? I mean, no, that's called an HDD form.
Yeah, it's called an
Okay.
HDD, and the CPU is the title that they give to the goddesses. So
Okay.
Neptune is a CPU, or rather, Neptune is like a person, and then Purple Heart is the CPU. But Netgear, I guess, is a CPU candidate.
If enough shares are recovered,
So when she transforms, she has an HDD form, but she's not a CPU. She's just somewhere in between.
For her to be a CPU, they'd have to like split Planeptune into like Planeptune and Planeptune gear.
they want me
Something
to
like
collect
that, I
shares
guess. I don't
of
know.
instead?
But that's not a thing that anyone's aiming for. They just
No.
wanna save their sisters.
Yeah, and I guess if they work
Ember.
together, the CPU candidates might collect enough shares to help the other CPUs out or
There's
whatever.
no way I can beat such a strong opponent. I don't have a
I
chance.
feel really bad for Vert right now, who doesn't have a representative.
Not at
Isn't
all.
that approach
Yeah.
too slow? ASIC
Yeah.
might be able to gather shares faster than we can reclaim them.
Good
So if
point.
it's only CPUs and CPU candidates who can collect shares, then that one they were fighting in the cutscene can gather shares if they're an actual CPU or CPU imitation?
I don't understand what you're going for, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm changing subject now
it's
because
okay.
mascots?
Yeah.
Mascots.
I guess. There are mascots in every nation. Like game mascots.
Born from the ancient goddesses,
Yeah, this is
the
important.
balance and order of our world.
Okay, so
Manner.
Is ancient goddesses different from the current goddesses? Is
yes,
this the...
I think so. In which case, the gaming mascots born of ancient goddesses would be characters born from older consoles. So Mario, in this situation, I guess would be a mascot born of an ancient goddess because the
for
original
like
game
the
is
NES?
on the NES.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That kind of makes sense.
Forgive me for going with Mario. It's just an easy fucking
Yes,
like,
it
answer
is.
for something like that.
It is the most basic. Everyone will understand.
Yeah.
But when needed, we will stand by the CPUs
All right.
and rid the world of evil's influence.
And we don't know for sure if they're still going with it. There was an original goddess, and then she split her power up, and then it became before, and they were raised by
no
our We don't
idea.
know.
I guess you could still make an argument for an original goddess, but the original goddess in that case would be probably not Atari. I'm assuming it would
I
probably
hope
be
it's
like
Atari.
PC Engine or something like that. I'm not really
No,
sure.
PC Engine is just Peachy.
No,
If
no,
she's
well,
in here,
okay,
she's just
okay.
gonna be
Then-
normal.
Then DOS? Does DOS count? Is that?
Isn't that a Microsoft thing?
Yeah, it is.
So that would
Technically.
be like
Okay, so I
Ancient
guess it doesn't
Vert?
work.
Could be basic.
I don't know what the fuck it would be. No, basic doesn't work
I
either.
will
That
inform
that's.
you all once I find something of note.
It's like DOS. It's programming language.
Yeah, I know it is, but it's not going to work because I don't think it's as old as DOS for
I
one.
think it's older.
Serve to rehabilitate
We'd
you.
have to look it up.
I have no idea
This
anymore.
is stuff from before we were born, so whatever.
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, Gear didn't even
Yeah,
move
the
much
ancient
in the past
primal
years,
first
let alone
goddess was an
fight.
oscilloscope that guy made Pong on. Not literal Pong, but the There were like 3 or 4 different Pongs that were essentially just all Pong, but weren't necessarily called that because it was just the easiest thing to make.
Yeah. N-Gear received.
Huh?
We got a Nepgear key?
This is the end.
Huh.
It is a portable device with a multitude of functions.
Okay.
Did you just give her the thing she's a metaphor for?
Maybe.
Yeah.
She handed us
they handed us the start
a
screen.
Nokia N-Gage.
The pause screen.
Yeah, so support effects. There's this. We know how the fuck Neptune works. The
Yeah.
higher the Lily rank, the better the support they can give. Yeah, it's the Lily rank system, and this is how it works. And your friends get stronger, then you can borrow their techniques as parts of your combo.
Yep.
Welcome to Planeptune, I guess.
Looks slightly different, but
So-
the aesthetic's the same.
What now? Should we get some work at the guild?
Did we have a voice for Neptune?
It was you.
Yeah, but what was it?
It was basically Neptune, but I think it was more subdued.
The guild, huh? Does that sound good?
Right. Yeah, I guess. You've never been there yourself, have you, Gear? Metal Gear. we get all sorts of work orders from all over game industry there. Ugh, my throat's all messed up. It's been a while since I've done this. We take on an assignment, complete it, report the results, and get paid. Pretty simple, right? Although, actually doing it once may give you a better idea of the flow. Let's go.
I only had one line. Is that loud
Hello.
enough?
What?
Is that loud enough?
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Okay.
I mean, face the mic when you're doing
I
it.
am.
Hello, we'd like to sign up for some fun work, please. Huh? Only one work order today. Let's see. Quest overview. Defeat the Dogus who are overpopulating Virtua Forest.
So some of the landmarks are
Yeah.
the same.
Reports of travelers being attacked by packs of Dogus. Terminate them. Well, that works for us. I should point out, by the way, that the reason that my throat's kind of messed up, because I'm not doing this very well, is because I've been inhaling smoke for like the last month. We live in like California.
Yeah, we're not near the fires, but the wind brings it to us anyways.
Virtua Forest. Actually, we're pretty close to them. Virtua Forest is very close to us, and the Mr. Dogus aren't very tough enemies.
Well, we're not close enough to the fires to be in danger. We're not being evacuated. It's
I mean,
just
not right
there.
now, but they
few
are
towns
pretty
over.
close. There's like 4 of them right now.
Yeah, no, but we're
Go
in
ahead.
we're in the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but am I ready for this?
You'll be fine. Come on, let's head to the Virtua Forest. Ugh.
I'm kind of glad they didn't make us select and accept the quest from a menu.
Yeah. Set up a series of combo skills to use in battle via combo setup. Every attack requires a set amount of CP, capacity points, to use.
I thought that stood for combo points.
Yeah, so did I, but I guess it doesn't.
Ah.
This is the Planeptune City, presided over and called home by CPU Purple Heart. The city menu here lists the facilities and other functions, such as talking with the city's inhabitants. This is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, you can also view the museum. At the museum, you can look at stuff. Press select when in battle or in a dungeon to open the quick help. That was still totally a thing in the original game, too.
Yeah, this is all. I mean,
Okay.
You gotta, even if it's a sequel, you gotta have the tutorial bits.
So, I guess we have ocean now instead of clouds?
Yes. I was
So
gonna.
we're on an
Oh,
island.
did you see
yeah,
that?
I saw it. I'm looking around at the rest of the stuff too. Like, there is Cloud here, but this is clearly a series of islands this time.
Yeah.
And yes, there's just an NES controller, or a Super
SNES.
Nintendo. Yeah, a SNES controller here. So there
I
are
like
also
this map
some
much
of
better.
these. I'm Miss Manual. I'll be giving tips on how to best play this game. Yeah, okay.
I'm getting a more painterly kind of feel from the texturing used on this map, and I like it. Is that a Neptune cosplay?
Yeah, it looks like somebody cosplaying Neptune.
Looking for members to join the Nep fan club. Why isn't anyone joining?
I'm gonna move our microphone just ever so slightly, just in case. Okay.
Is it me? Is it my fault? No, it cannot be.
It's because you dress like Nep, you weirdo.
It's because her voice isn't correct.
Yeah.
What?
It's a kangaroo Neptune. Don't question it.
I'm not questioning.
It's got a baby that's also a kangaroo Neptune.
No, I think that's a Nepgear.
Oh, okay.
It's got slightly longer hair. Boingy! Jump! Boing! Oh god, it is just a...
It's doing the boingy jump noise.
Jump! I'm a kangaroo!
Yeah, okay.
Is that it?
I guess.
Oh, this guy.
Hey, it's Senshiro. Are you all having fun? You'll pay if you're cheating. Thanks, Sega Sanshiro. I think for one of the last episodes of the series, when I was trying to talk about Sega Sanshiro, I just went out and found a commercial and put it over this. And it's a commercial for Bomberman where he just throws a man off a cliff and he explodes, and then he pulls up a copy of Bomberman.
Cool.
And it's like, there you go, that's Sega Sanshiro in a nutshell.
They're also... the graveyard's just one little area.
Yeah, it looks like it's off to the center.
Everything else looks like it's doing
There's
fine.
also a commercial where he dresses up like Santa and then like threatens to beat children for not playing the Sega Saturn.
Wow.
That's just his whole shtick.
Can I really do it? Yeah, you can. We'll force
Like,
you.
I urge you to go out and find the Sanshiro commercials. They're all really good. Heading out with gear. 3 years is a long time. Yeah. I mean,
well,
I
that
didn't
was an event.
do anything. I just went into it. Yeah.
That's because you clicked an event.
I know.
If you worked for Planet Toon's Guild, right? Or, I mean, are you still employed there?
Of course. Although with the way things are, it's more of a part-time job right now.
I'm sorry. It's because of me, right?
Wow, Nepgear is just really sad.
Yeah.
No. Don't sweat it.
It's just, she contrasts with Nep.
Yeah. Even if I'm out of the office, it won't affect the organization much. There are plenty of other agents.
That reminds me, I wanted to ask what the guild actually, does.
Espionage, generally. Guild stuff.
The guild does guild stuff. Very informative.
Acquire confidential intelligence from other nations. Spread misinformation to stir up politicians. Or sometimes...
This was a good voice for this.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very nice.
It's like as time goes on, my if gets less and less snake, and it just turns into its own weird gruff thing, and I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I don't
good
know.
enough.
Don't get the wrong idea. We've only handled criminal syndicates like ASIC lately. Especially these last 3 years. We've been sneaking into other nations and gathering information about them. Thanks to those efforts, I found out just how serious the trouble is facing game industry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault too.
I said not to worry about it. We've only been able to gather intel, not act on the information received. But we're together now, right? So let's save game industry together.
You're turning into a pirate.
I know.
Yes, let's
Not
do it.
so fun. That's the spirit. Let's do our best.
Okay.
The Lily
Oh.
rank between Nepgear and If has increased.
Oh, is that the whole event? Alright.
Yeah, I guess the event... Well, because the event that they want us to go to is in Virtual Forest, so
Yeah,
I figured
that's
that these
true.
events can't be very big.